When people ghost, people don't understand that's attachment response. That's a communication style. We've we've debated ghosted without recognizing that it's based on potentially trauma. It's based on attachment styles. Somebody ghosting is somebody avoiding conflict, is somebody avoiding difficult conversations. Usually, what I say in the first session with a new client is that I'm going to disappoint you as a therapist. You have to understand that therapy is not easy. That there's going to be times where you hate me, that you're angry at me. There's going to be times that I remind you of somebody in your past, good or bad. There is going to be times that I miss you, I don't hear you, and you're not going to like it. And that is therapy. That's when you come back and we deal with that, because that means something. The reason why you were so angry that I missed you was because you feel discarded by your family, you feel abandoned by your family. So that was so excruciating when you felt missed by me. That is therapy. What tends to happen is that when people get to these pivotal moments in therapy, they withdraw. It gets too much. They get uncomfortable. They look for and find another therapist. There are people right now sitting here listening to me, going from one therapist to another. They're not going to get help, because there's that when clients go to one A&E to another because they want to go into the psychiatric ward, right? And because we don't share systems across the different NHS trusts in the UK, so there's sometimes somebody can go to 5 or 6 local authority A&Es. So A&Es in different boroughs, shall I say, from Hackney, Islington to Newham, to Waltham Forest, to Havering and Havering, to Camden. And maybe it will only get to a point where maybe one of the professionals eventually called a borough and found out, oh, this person came yesterday. And they go, okay, let me check some of the neighbouring boroughs. And then you literally find out the person's gone to 6 A&Es, 6 hospitals, in the past 6 days. Now, usually there's time, because that person wouldn't have time. You see, that nurse or that social worker didn't have time and doesn't always have time to sit there and say, let me find out if this person is known. Now, that does happen, but you might only do one trust because that person lives in Southwark, so you're from Slam. I'm not going to think of, let me call Southwest London, and just in case David also popped up there. We don't do that unless there's an indication. But the reason why I'm saying that is there are clients that actually do. There's many clients that do that. They do that because they want a particular outcome that really isn't beneficial for them. We've said no in this place, so they know that they can go somewhere else and nobody knows them there, and they're probably going to get that outcome. Unless when it usually only happens when the whole NHS, like the NHS, kind of do a wide thing where this particular client, like, this is the plan. Everyone follow the plan, because it's really not helpful if this person can go to 6 boroughs to basically get what they want, and some boroughs do it and some don't. So, mind you, there are some people that do that with therapists. Yeah. Oh, I just didn't get on with this therapist. I didn't get on. And I guess sometimes it's a very subjective experience. It's not always a hard fast that this person was that person was that. It just doesn't always work out. So I'm saying all of this to say this. She said, is it wrong to ghost? I would say that if you felt that the therapy wasn't working, you should speak about that in therapy. Oh, it's uncomfortable. Oh, you don't want to hurt the therapist's feelings. And you might do. The therapist won't show it to you, but you might do. But it's necessary for your healing, because it is imperative that if you most likely ghosted your therapist, you probably display that type of behavior amongst other relationships. And that could be a big red flag, an issue for yourself, that maybe you withdraw very easily when you're uncomfortable, when you're discontent, when you're not happy. You're not somebody who confronts things. You're somebody who puts everything under the carpet. You're somebody who disappears. We've all got friends that disappear and then come back and expect us to be the same, be where we were when you just dropped us or when you just withdrew. Ringing the bell. We always talk about ghosting in romantic relationship, but people ghosting friends all the time. And the people that ghost feel like they have a right to ghost, and the people that are being ghosted feel like they feel offended by that. And there needs to be some common ground between the two, because you just see back and forth some people not understanding that those that are ghosted are hurt, but those that do the ghosting maybe need time to heal. But communication solves a lot of things. That people can just communicate and say, look, I got a ghost. You ain't going to see me for a while, but I love you. But I just need some time to compress, to consolidate, to essentially just hibernate. The money she said she paid is just part of the conversation. Like when you're paying for therapy and you don't think you're getting what you want to be getting, or you don't think it's working or as good as you think, you start thinking about the money, like, right, 60 quid, boy, could be gone for something else. I could have gotten some nice oxtail rice and peas jollof rice for £60. I could have got a nice pair of shoes for £60. You start to think about, oh, what could I spend that £60 on? Instead, I'm spending £60 on to talk about my issues and feel sad.